Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. We chant the invocation together. Vasudevendra Yogendram Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshonam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Bhidhiyate. So we heard that Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti is essential for moksha. So Sadhana Chatushtayam kim? We said Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha Ihamutrartha Bhala Bhoga Viragaha Samadhi Shitka Sampatti Mukshutvam Chet. So among them, the first one is Viveka. We started discussing about the first aspect of Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti known as Viveka. I will read, please repeat. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekah Kaha Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tadvyadiriktam Sarvam Anityam Ayameva Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekah. Once more. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekakaha Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tadvyadiriktam Sarvam Anityam Ayameva Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. So what is Viveka? Said Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma. So what Nitya and Anitya? You know, that is the Viveka between the eternal and ephemeral. The difference, understanding the difference between the eternal truth and the impermanent world. So that is known as Nitya Nitya Vastu Veka. Where? So now Bhagavan is explaining this. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma. So when you say Nitya and Anitya, what is Viveka? The Viveka is a kind of inquiry and finding out the truth between Nitya and Anitya. So what is Nityam Vastu? Brahma. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma. The eternal truth is Brahma, Brahman. Okay? In Sanskrit, there are two words. In Sanskrit, there are two words. One is Brahma, another is Brahma. Brahma and Brahma. To be careful with these two words because this Brahma is a masculine word. Brahma, Brahmano, Brahmana means the creator. So when you see the word Brahma, that is the creator. Vidhata, the creator of the universe. Among the Trimurti, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesha. That is Brahma, not Brahma. If you use Brahma, the first one, without Dirgha, that is a neutral word in Sanskrit. Brahma, Brahmani, Brahmani. The first word, which is Brahma, is the word used here, not Brahma. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma, not Brahma. Brahma also will, at the end of the cycle of creation, Brahma also will disappear. There's only one thing in this universe which is eternally there. What is that? That is indicated by the word Brahma. Brahma. What do you mean by this word? See, this consciousness, this supreme truth, there is no name. But then, in order to understand, in order to convey the message, we are using a word Brahma. What is the meaning of Brahma? It's come from two meanings. One is Brihatvat. Brihatvat, Brahmanatvat. Brahma. What is the meaning of that word Brahma? The Brahma's first meaning is Brihatvat. Brihatvat, the big. So Brahma means what? The big. Means that which is all pervasive. That which exists everywhere. That substratum of this universe is indicated by the word Brahma, Brihatvat. Next is Brahmanatvat. Brahmanam, to expand. I don't know how many of you are from, some kind of agricultural background. If you really want to sow the seed, first you have to put the seed into water. You have to keep the seed into water for some time. And then when you take the seed out of water, you will see that the seed is expanded. It's grown. So what is this universe? This universe is Brahmana of Brahma. So the cause of the universe, not as that the universe is second something, but it itself as though expanded. That's why the word Brahma is used to indicate the supreme reality. But always see, whether it is used Brahma Hraswa or Brahma Dirgha. If you are anywhere, we see the word Brahma. That is Brahmaji, Brahmaji, the creator. Wherever we use the word Brahma, that is the supreme reality, the consciousness. Now, what is the definition here? What do you mean by the Viveka? What is Nitya, Nitya Vastu Viveka? So what is Nityam, the eternal? And what is Anitya, which is ephemeral? Says, in this entire universe, there's only one eternal truth. The one eternal truth is known as Brahma. So, what is this Viveka you are talking about? What is Nitya, Nitya Vastu Viveka? What is Nitya, what is Anitya? This, understanding of the eternal and ephemeral. What is that? Says, Nitya Vastu in this universe, there is something which is eternal. What is that which is eternal? That is Brahma. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma. There is only one thing which is eternal, that is Brahma. Tattvabodha Sarva. Other than Brahma, everything in this universe are Anityam. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma. Tattvabodha Sarva. Whatever is there in this universe other than Brahma, everything is ephemeral. That is known as Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. Ayameva Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. So what is Viveka? Viveka, the right understanding. The right understanding is there is something which is eternal. That eternal thing is the pure consciousness, which is indicated by the word Brahma. Other than that, everything appears and disappears. This entire universe appears and disappears. When you say that entire universe disappears and appears and disappears, our body, our mind, our intellect, whatever is in this universe, everything appears, stay for some time, and then disappears. So whatever is appearing, existing and disappearing, they are all anityam. Like the waves appears, exist and disappear in the ocean, in the water. Same way, water, in that case, water is nitya and the wave is anitya. Like that, the supreme consciousness, which is indicated by the word Brahma, is nitya. And anything and everything which appears and disappears, that is anitya. This conviction is known as Vivek. So whatever appears and disappears is anitya. What is there constantly is nityam. That nityam is my own true nature. Whatever appears as my body, mind, intellect, my thoughts, my feelings, my this, my that, they are all appearing and disappearing. Because they are appearing and disappearing, they are anitya. This understanding, this conviction of the eternal and ephemeral, that there were changes and that we change, that is known as Vivek.
Is there any difference between consciousness and soul?
We will come to that. The topic will come, that time we will go to Atma. Atma Chintanam is there. When we come, we will come to that. Okay? So, now let us go back to the definition. Nitya, there's a word there, vastu. Nitya vastu ekam brahma. So, ekam brahma we discussed. Now comes the word nitya vastu. What is the meaning of vastu? We use the word vastu. No? Vastu? Things. Here, vastu is used to indicate real existence. Here, in this definition, what is vastu? Vastu, vasati idi vastu. That which stays. Please understand, in this definition, the nitya vastu, the word vastu, is used to indicate that which really exists. That which is the essential nature, the true property, is indicated by the word vastu in this definition. Please understand, the word meaning changes according to the structure of the sentence, according to the place. But here, vastu is nitya vastu, means the eternal substance, true existence. Tattvabodha sarvam. When you say sarvam, what do you mean by sarva? Everything. Everything mean what? See, Vedanta indicate by the word sarva here the entire axis of life. Desha, Kala, Vishaya, Vastu. When they say everything else, who say whatever exists other than Brahman, everything is anityam. That's what I want to say. What do you mean by this sarvam? Tadvyatiriktam sarvam. What do you mean by that? They say that this entire universe of our experience, there are 4 axes on which all our experiences are happening. The first axis is time. Kala. Second axis is space. Desha. Desha, Kala. The third axis is our experiences. Different kinds of experiences, Vishaya. Third is Vastu, here as matter. Here, Vastu, matter. So think about this entire universe. This entire universe is existing in these four axes, which are Desha, Kala, Vishaya and Vastu. Other than Brahman, Desha, Kala, Vishaya, Vastu, everything is Anitya. This is what Vedanta is trying to tell us. So this understanding that whatever we say as Desha, Vishaya, Kala, Vastu, see, you are all students of science and all that, we know that when we entered into this class, okay, the point where the earth was and where we are now in the universe is changed. We are not in that moment where we started. But do we feel it? No. We think that we are sitting in the same space, but it's not so. So this entire, all these axes, whether it is Desha, whether it is Kala, there is different types of, our experiences and different matter, different materials. They are all in constant motion. Because it is constantly moving, we feel that nothing is moving. This is known as mithya. You hear this word mithya in a very wrong understanding. Many people who try to study Vedanta, and then they hear the word mithya, they think that whatever we are trying to tell, Vedanta is trying to tell, mithya means wrong, that which never exists. No. Mithya means, it will come, that which we experience, but really something else. हम कुछ अनुभव करते हैं, परंतु उसका याथार्थ्य और कुछ है, उसको मिथ्या कहते हैं. यथा भाति तथा नास्ति. How we experience, that is not the truth. That's the meaning of mithya. When it comes, we'll discuss more. So what is this viveka? Viveka is understanding that this desh, kal, vishaya, vastu, they are all in constant motion. But even when all of these things are changing, there is something which is constant. What is that which is constant? That is indicated by the word Brahma. Nitya vastu ekam Brahma. Tattvabodha sarvam. Whether it is time, whether it is space, whether it is matter, whether it is different experiences, they are all anitya. They are ephemeral, they are changing each and every moment. Even the time is changing, space is changing, experiences are changing, matter is changing. But these are all these changes are happening in an unchanging substratum, which is known as Brahman, which is my true nature. So this is what Viveka in Vedanta. Please understand, Viveka is a scientific term in Vedanta. We use the Viveka in different meanings in the usage, but here in the Vedanta Shastra, Viveka stands for, it's a terminology, it's a term, it's a scientific term of Vedanta which indicates this understanding of changeless truth from changing appearances. So what is Viveka? So Viveka is this ability to discriminate, this ability to understand, this ability to comprehend changeless from all changing matter. So that's why, please read the definition once more. Nitya vastu ekam Brahma, Tadvyatiriktam sarvam, desha, kala, vishaya, that space, time, matter, experiences, sarvam anityam, that keep on changing. But to have all this change, you see, we see the wheel. The wheel is rotating. But the wheel is able to rotate because there is a changeless center. Now, because there is a changeless center, the wheel can rotate. Like that, that's why we call always the samsara chakra. Or the wheel, samsara chakra. The wheel of samsara is in constant motion. But there is a changeless substratum for this entire movement. That changeless substratum is Brahman. This understanding, this comprehension, this right understanding between the changing and changeless truth is known as Vivek.
Atma will come under Nit or Anit.
We will think. See, Atmavastu will come, we will discuss. So, Atma is Nityavastu. Now, here, that's why I am telling, I am avoiding this question is, Atma means there are different meanings for Atma. Now, after a few paragraph, the Vastu, the word Atma will come. So, the Atma word has different meanings, connotations are there. There, we will discuss what are those connotations, and then we'll answer. Here, Atma, whether you call it Brahma, whether you call it Atma, is one here. But not everywhere. When you say Jivatma, and Atma Sakshatkara, Atma Hatya, you use the word Atma Hatya. What is the meaning? Killing the self. No, their Atma means Sharira. So the word Atma has different meanings, different connotation at different places. So let us, when it comes there, we will use. But here, Atma word is equal to Brahman. Here. So Brahman, so when you say Nityavastu Ekam Brahma, you can say Nityavastu Eka Atma. But in Sanskrit, in Shastra, the Atma word is used as in many meanings. So when it comes there, we will discuss and then come back. Here, Atma and Brahma is synonyms, but not everywhere. So, Nityavastu Ekam Brahma, Tadvyadiriktam Sarvam Anityam. This is known as the Viveka. Now, when we are studying about this, 5 things we should consider. When we are talking about Viveka, and Vairagya, there are 5 things we should, understand, try to understand. One is known as Hetuhu. What is the meaning of Hetu? Hetu? Cause. Because of why this is happening. So, Hetu. Second is known as Swarupaha. Hetuhu, Swarupaha. What do we mean by Swarupa? Nature. Swarupa means the nature. Third is known as Karyaha. Karyaha. What do we mean by Karya? Practice. Here, Karya means practice. Next is Nishtha. Nishtha, abidance. Nishtha, sthirata. Next is Bhalam. So when we are talking about Viveka, Vairagya, etc., these 5 things should be understood properly. So now we are discussing about Viveka. What is the Hetu? Hetu means the cause. What is the cause of Viveka? They say there are 2 types of causes. One is known as direct cause. Another is indirect cause. There are 2 types of karana. Hetu karana. Hetu, the cause. One is direct, sakshat hetuhu. Second is paramparya hetuhu. One is the direct cause. Second is indirect cause. What is the direct cause of viveka? What is the direct cause? How is that some people are able to do the direct, develop viveka. Some people are not able to develop viveka. They say the direct cause of viveka are two. That is karma yoga and upasana. What is the sakshat hetu of viveka? How do we get this wisdom which help us to understand the nitya and anitya vastu? Says there are two causes for that. One is karma yoga. When we take up karma yoga, selfless services, that selfless services will bring a kind of purity to our heart, and that purity, known as chitta shuddhi, help us to develop viveka. So the direct cause for hetu for viveka is karma yoga, and second is upasana. Different kinds of spiritual practices. Karma yoga and upasana. Karma yoga brings purity of heart, and upasana help us to concentrate. Karmana chitta shuddhi. Upasanaya ekagrata. How we sharpen an arrow? By rubbing it again. Like that, why when our mind is, disciplined, when the mind takes up upasanas, that upasanas will help the mind to become sharp. So, the karma yoga and upasanas will help us to develop right understanding, known as viveka, nitya nitya vastu viveka. There is an indirect cause. Shastra says, see, there are hundreds of people, suppose, who are doing karma yoga and karma, and upasanas, etc. We see that everybody is not able to develop viveka. Suppose all of us are here. Suppose all of us are doing karma yoga, all of us are doing upasana, but we see that everybody is not able to really develop viveka at the same level. Why? They say there is a indirect cause for viveka. That is two things: purva janmarjita punyam and kripa. There are two more ingredients, two more aspects which gives us viveka. That is purva janma arjita punya. Means that punya we have gained in many births. With our whatever sadhanas, whatever karma we have done, with that punya comes to us. Second is kripa, the compassion of Ishvara, the compassion of Mahatmas. We see this. You see Valmiki, they say that Valmiki was a hunter and all that. And then he met Narada, or he met Saptarshi, and you know the story of everything. He asked something, and then, but that moment, he got that viveka. Oh my God, I wasted my life. No, that viveka, that vairagya that came to him, that's like a flash. How? Not because of karma yoga or upasana or anything. That is the grace. No, the grace of Guru, or that grace of Guru comes to us when we have done enough for many, many births, which we cannot see that. That is known as Janmarjita Punya and Guru Kripa, Ishwara Kripa. Sometimes, it's not that always Guru, but Ishwara Kripa, that is a hidden factor to develop Viveka. So, what are the hetu for Viveka? The direct cause is Karma Yoga and Upasana. Indirect cause is Punya and Kripa. Kripa, the grace factor from the Guru or from Ishvara himself. Next is Swarupa. Swarupa, what is the nature of Viveka? The nature of Viveka, the Swarupa of Viveka is right contemplation. What is the nature of Viveka? Correct thinking, right contemplation. What do you mean by right contemplation? See, not just thinking something, not just thinking that, oh, everything is mithya. That is not possible. We have to think logically. What kind of logic? Shruti matas tarka. A logic which is based on the scriptural revelations. What is that thought process? What is the Swarupa? What is the nature of Viveka? It's a very logical thinking pattern. What is that? It is like this. Yat drishyam tat jadam. Yad jadam tad anityam. Yad anityam tat mithya. So it's a thinking pattern, a thought process. What is it? Yad drishyam. Whatever we are seeing, whatever we see, if we can perceive through our indriyas. As I say, seeing is not only by eyes. Whatever is perceived through indriyas, yat drishyam tat jadam. Oh my God, what are you telling? That I am seeing you. So are you a jada? Yes. What you are seeing is jada. That's why one day you see that it is lying down there. Think about a person and a dead body. What is that? So what you see is the body. Whatever we perceive through our indriya, that is jadam. Yet drishyam. You are not seeing Atma. The moment you start to see the Atma, you will run away from the air. Yet drishyam tat jadam. Actually, what we are perceiving only is Panchabhutatmaka thing. No, what is made up of Panchabhutas, which is jadam, which is inert. So, yet drishyam tat jadam. This is the process of Viveka. Okay, this is the process of the right thinking. What Vedanta is trying to point out. Yad jadam tad anityam. Whatever is inert, that is anitya, ephemeral, impermanent. Yad anityam tad mithya. Yad mithya tad asatyam. Yad mithya tad asatyam. So, in Vedanta, these words are used for different meanings. Now let us come to the statement which is given by Shankaracharya. What is Bhagavan saying? Nityavastu ekam brahma tadvyadiriktam sarvam anityam. So when you say something is anitya, that anitya is mithya, that mithya is asatyam. What do you mean by satyam, asatyam? We'll come back. Okay. It's a technical word. Not asatya means we speak, untruth. That is not the meaning in the Shastra. Satya is not a word. Satya is existence. That will come, we'll discuss. So this kind of shruti mata starka, this kind of thinking, this kind of inquiry, this kind of assimilation of facts, this kinds of acceptance of the truth according to the Shastra is known as Viveka in Vedanta. So that is the Swarupa, that is the nature of Viveka. What is the nature of Viveka? Systematized thinking, logical thinking based on Shastra. So this is the Swarupa. Now, next is Karya. Karya means what? Practice. See, somebody want to develop Viveka, suppose. Somebody want to develop Viveka, that process of development or practices which help us to develop Viveka is known as Karya. Karya means karna chahiye. Edad karyam means ye karna chahiye. This has to be practiced. That's the meaning of Karya here. Upasana. Kya karna chahiye mujhe? If I want to develop Viveka, मैं क्या करूं? That is known as Karya. What are the Karya? What is the practice? So there are different practices which Bhagavan, explains to us. First thing is to develop a mind and intellect which is inquisitive. To develop a mind and intellect which is inquisitive. So suppose our mind has no questions, then what answers will come to it? So we should be able to think. That inquisitiveness. We only think when we have some desire to know, isn't it? See, there is something there. Many people don't even look at it. Whether there will be any question comes to us, no. When there is inquisitive nature, then only we ask, ye kya hai? Then only we start to think. So the first thing to develop Viveka is jitnyasa. Jitnyasa, inquisitiveness, jnatum ichha. If that is not there, what Viveka? So the inquisitive nature is the first step. But many of us, at some point of our life, we might have some jitnyasa. Oh, what is this Brahman they are talking about? What is this Atma they are talking about? What is this moksha they are talking about? Sometimes in our life, little bit of jitnyasa come, but we do not continue that. It comes, कुछ समय के बाद उसको छोड़ देते हैं. So the second step, if we want to develop Viveka, we have to do avartita chintanam, practice, abhyasa. Not only that, some inquisitiveness came, we tried to understand, we are not able to understand, so we dropped it. No. Ek bar thoda, prayas kiya, we could not understand. Second bar, time, third bar, fourth, fifth, abhyasena tu kaundeya. Through abhyasa, avartita chintanam. One time we try to study, understand Vedanta, we tried, we failed. Don't stop. Second time, third time, fourth time. Slowly, slowly, as we practice, we become perfect. So, what is the Karya? Two things. One is jitnyasa. Second is avartita chintanam, abhyasa. Okay. What is nishtha? Suppose, how we'll know that we have got viveka? The nishtha is known as sthirata, avadhi. No, avadhi. Avadhi means the achievement, or the greatest point is our firmness. The firmness in the shraddha, or the belief in the Vedantic understanding is the avadhi. Many people may try to distract us. We say all this Vedanta is useless. All their vadas are wrong. But unshaken, whatever people may say, see, this is not my own experience also now. But even though this is not my experience, because of my shraddha to Shastra, to Guru, to Bhagavan, we keep on holding to it. And people may argue against, in and for, against, or for this, whatever may be the arguments of the world, it will not shake us. So, firmness in conviction is the avadhi, adhava nishtha. Now comes bhalam. Bhalam means the result. What is the result of viveka? There are, as we said, there is direct and indirect results. Drishtam, adrishtam. There is a drishta bhalam and an adrishta bhala. There is a direct experience and there is an indirect experience. There is a result which can be seen, and there is an unseen result. What is the drishtam bhalam? The drishta bhala of viveka is vairagya. Drishta bhala is vairagya. Adrishta bhala is brahmaloka prapti. The drishta bhalam, a person is developing his viveka. As we develop viveka, what is viveka? Nitya vastu viveka. Nitya vastu ekam brahma tadvyadiriktam sarvam anityam. Continuously, when we develop this discriminative, this understanding, slowly, what happens? Vairagya comes to us. What is vairagya? This is the next point. We really become that all kinds of distractions that slowly leave us and go, we become very clear. That is the drishtabhala. What is adrishtabhala? Suppose a person is practiced viveka, but before he attains moksha, he died. Suppose, see, this body has an expiry date. You know that. So that expiry date come, whatever we may do, it will fall. So suppose a person has developed viveka nicely, but before we reach that mokshanubhuti in this birth, suppose our body will fall, don't worry. Why? If a person has developed viveka in the right sense, he will continue his journey in Brahmaloka. He will enter into we are chanting, paranta kale para, te Brahmaloke tu paranta kale paramrudat parimuchanti sarve. We enter into Brahmaloka. There Sharadananda will not be teaching, Sakshal Brahmaji will be teaching. In the Sadas, Brahma Sadas, Brahmaji himself, Sharada herself, Jagadambiga, Mahasaraswati herself, in the presence of Mahasaraswati, Brahmaji will be taking Vedanta Sara class. Think about it. And we will be listening. And what is the difference? In this class, we may get convinced, we may not get convinced. But in the presence of Brahma, in the presence of Mahasaraswati, the conviction will come to us. So, don't think that even if we are not convinced much about Viveka in this birth, continue. So that we will, Adrishta Bhalam is Brahmaloka Prapti. Okay, so the Hetu, Swarupa, Karya, Nishtha, adava Avadhi and Bhalam. Write down all of them so that it will be able to, when we want to, do the manana of these aspects, it becomes very easy for us. So, we said that, what is the bhala of Viveka? It is Vairagya. This word Vairagya is a very frightening word for people. I think in Hindi, that meaning is not there. Many of our South Indian languages, Vairagya means enmity. Usko mujhse vairagya hai mane means he's angry with me. But that is not the meaning of vairagya in Vedanta. Okay, so what is vairagya? That is said in the next. Page number 16. 1-6. Viragah kaha. Viragah kaha. Iha swarga bhogeshu ichharahityam. Iha swarga bhogeshu ichharahityam. Iha swarga bhogeshu ichharahityam. Viraga kaha. In Vyakarana, actually it is shiksha. If this visarga comes in front of ka, that visarga should become jihva muliya. So it becomes viragah. Instead of viragah, it will become viragah kaha. How is it? Viragah. Half ha. Not ha. Viragah kaha. Okay? Viragah kaha. So that is, ka iti kakabhyam purva ardha sadrishaha is known as jihva muliya. If ka and ka, visarga comes in front of ka or ka, kuppoho ka paucha. There is a sutra in Vyakarana. Kuppoho, in front of ka and pa, if visarga comes, that visarga will change into jihva muliya and upatmaniya. So in ka, if visarga comes, it becomes not ha, half, ka. And so, anyhow, that is out of thing, but I just want to. So, viragah kaha. Viragah kaha. Iha swarga bhogeshu ichharahityam. What is viragah? What is vairagya? What is viraga? Says, iha swarga bhogeshu. Bhoga, enjoyments. Iha swarga bhogeshu. In all that, enjoyments of this world and the surga. In the heavens, ichharahityam. Absence of desire. I would like to say, more than absence, freedom from desires. Freedom from desires of different bhogas, different enjoyments here and hereafter. See, all of us are slaves. Slaves of what? Slaves of our desires. Think about it. Why are that we are not able to sit quietly? Why are we not able to really reflect on the truth? Why are we not able to, enjoy anything? Think about it. See, you wanted to have masala dosa, okay? Kerala is very good for, South India you came, so you want to have authentic masala dosa. You had a desire. I have to have this, I have to have this. So before you go from here, you book your ticket and then tell that, 5 o'clock is my train. But actually it is only 8 o'clock. Why you want 3 hours? I want to just go there and enjoy the masala dosa. You go there, you get it. See, what happens, it is, you are planning everything because of icha. And you go there, you get your masala dosa in front of you. But if you watch yourself, maybe for a fraction of a second, you are happy. The next moment, you are no more happy. Why? The mind is already shifted from masala dosa to something else. Why do we suffer? We do suffer because our mind is not able to enjoy anything in completeness. Mind is always hoping, jumping from one thing to other. Complete. There's no time where the mind is, at this point. The mind is never with us at this point. Mind is somewhere. When we are doing something, the mind is somewhere else. And there, when we reach there, the mind is already gone. So what is this Vairagya is talking about here? Please understand, Vairagya is not a negative quality. Vairagya is total availability of our mind for us. What is actually Vairagya? Vairagya is independence. Don't take Vairagya as a negative thing. Vairagya is the total freedom. Vairagya is you have total control over your mind and intellect and your faculties. They're not running here and there. So that is known as Vairagya. What is Vairagya? Iha Surga Bhogeshu. Now, see, you know that so much of things are happening in the world. So many terrorists are destroying, killing. They are blasting themselves. Why? Thinking that if I kill this kafir, I will enter into Surga. What kind of foolish thoughts? Surga Bhoga. Go to Surga, heavens, and then Huris are there, this are there, that is there. You are destroying a beautiful life. Thinking about something which is promised in some mad books. Iha surga bhogeshu icharahityam. When your mind is not tempted, when your mind is not attracted and disturbed for the different kinds of, desires, that makes your mind available, that makes your mind free, that makes your mind actually happy. So Vairagya is the cause of inner peace and happiness, not some negative things. People think Vairagya is a negative thing. No. Vairagya is the key for happiness. Vairagya is the key for real freedom. How the Vairagya comes? That Vairagya is not because of anger or frustration. The Vairagya Vedanta is discussing is not because, the lover cheated you or something happened in the family. Some people get that kind of Vairagya for some time. Many people think that all of us sannyasis, somebody cheated in our life, that's why we became sannyasis. Really, really people ask us, Swamiji, what happened? So when you say, what happened means what? No, why you became a sannyasi? Because many of the movies, etc., they show that if the lover cheats you and then he go to Himalaya and becomes a sanyasin, that is not meant here. Here, vairagya is the result of vivek. That's what we said. The bhalam of viveka is vairagya. So, what is vairagya? Vairagya is that, as I said, is that key to happiness, the key to freedom. Vairagya is that ability, the strength of mind to give up wrong dependencies. What is vairagya? Vairagya is ichha. Please pay attention. Vairagya is ichha dvesha rahityam. Vairagya is not dvesha. Vairagya is a state of mind where the mind is not pulled or pushed because of ichha or dvesha. We have no desires and no repulsions. If you have kind of dvesha and you have some kind of vairagya, that vairagya will not last. So what is vairagya? What if vairagya is ichha dvesha rahityam, absence of strong likes and dislikes. A mind which is naturally becomes calm and composed. A mind which is peaceful because the mind is not disturbed by the push and pull of likes and dislikes, which leads to a kind of swatantriya, a kind of peace, harmony, and joy within. So what is vairagya? Vairagya is actually a state of inner calmness and quietude because of lack of push and pull of likes and dislikes. That's why the vairagya is classified into three types. One is known as manda vairagya. Second is known as madhyama vairagya. Third is known as tivra vairagya. Manda, madhyama, and tivra. What do you mean manda vairagya? That manda vairagya is known as smashana vairagya or alabha vairagya. But smashana vairagya means somebody, which is very close to us, our relatives or our very dear friend. When they pass away, when they die, for some time, we feel our mind is not attracted towards anything. We don't want to drink or party or anything. For how long? 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. 7th day, we will have a great party for him. At least 15th day, 11th day, 16th day, we do, a party. Not a party, but still we do. See, that is known as smashana vairagya. There's a second kind of vairagya known as alabhe vairagya. Means you loved somebody and that person is not loving you back. That person loved somebody else. So you get a, to kya hai? No, this is known as alabhe vairagya. I did not get that person or that thing or that position or that job. क्या है इसमें कुछ नहीं है ऐसा कहते हैं. Deep within we are crying, but outside we say उसमें क्या है कुछ नहीं. So that is for some time. That is known as alabhe. If you don't get, some kind of vairagya comes to you. But they are all manda vairagya. Means that will not be there for some time. After some time, more attractions will come. That is known as manda vairagya. Second is known as madhyama vairagya. What is madhyama vairagya? See, one type of vairagya is there for a time period. We give up things. Many of you who takes fasting for the Navaratri. No? Do you take fasting for Navaratri? Yeah. So, in that we are fasting for Navaratri and your friend brings something which is not to be consumed through that fasting period. When they bring, you say, nahi chahiye mujhe. So that's also vairagya. That is because a time-bound vairagya. अभी 10 दिन तक नहीं करूंगा, उसके बाद तो double करूंगा. In Kerala, we have 41 days of vairagya. We call it Mandala Kala. You know Ayyappa and all that. So they take 41 days. They will not wear chappal. They will not use any alcohol or eat any meat or anything. And that's so good. But the day they go to Ayyappa and then they throw away their mala, everything, the first thing they go is to that place and then have everything. So that type of vairagya is known as madhyama vairagya, because for a short period to gain something more. Your fever is there, too much of fever, and your friend brings pizza for you. You say no, nahi chahiye. Why? So that if I eat now, that will be my last meal. So I can't digest. So no, that is madhyama vairagya. Is one is this kind of for a short period. Another kind of vairagya, if actually I ask you, interview you, you also will have a kind of vairagya for surga. Surga bhogeshu ichcharahityam. Why? Because you are not convinced that there is a surga. Because I know I am not convinced that there is a surga, so I have vairagya. That is also madhyama vairagya. There's a third kind of vairagya. You are here in the ashram. You are listening to these great words of wisdom. We are studying the scriptures. And you also feel that, whatever they are telling is very true. I also want to be free, etc., 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 etc. for some time. But then slowly, as though we forget about all that. So that is known as madhyama vairagya. We understand that vairagya is coming from understanding. But because our vasanas are so strong, after some time, although we are convinced, what happens? We forget. That is known as madhyama vairagya. Then comes tivra vairagya. See, there was a boy, 8 years. He happens to go to meet Brahma, to Yamadharma. Think about 8 years old boy standing in front of the Lord of Death. And the Lord gave him 3 boons. So one did it. Last one, he wanted to know the secret of death. Think about an 8-year-old boy comes in front of you and asks you, please tell me about what is there beyond death, etc. Do you want to tell him why this small boy is asking all this? So Yama says, I will give you this, I will give you that, I will give you pleasures, I will give you saradha, savayudha, all these, apsaras, with all that you will give life, you can live as long as you want, I will give you this. A long list of temptations are given. And the child said, Tavaiva vaha tava nritya gite. You keep all your, your cars and then your dancers, etc. with you. I only want the truth. So what is tivra vairagya? Even when it is tempted, even at the face of temptations, when our mind is not distracted, that kind of strong vairagya is known as tivra vairagya. Abrahma bhuvanaloka punaravartino Arjuna. What to talk about Brahma loka, this loka? Everything will fall. Whatever is in this universe, everything will perish one day. That's why it is coming from Viveka. A Vairagya which is backed up by the right understanding, that Vairagya is known as Tivra Vairagya. Okay? Now, let us, for the Vairagya also, let us see these 5 aspects. What is the Hetu of Vairagya? Hetu, the cause of Vairagya, the direct cause of Vairagya is Viveka. Right understanding. That will only, see, in Vedanta we are not talking about Manda Vairagya, Madhyama Vairagya, etc. So what is the real Vairagya? What is the cause? The real cause of Vairagya is right understanding, Viveka. Second is known as Dosha Drishtihi. What do you mean by Dosha Drishti? Understanding that whatever in this universe, everything is filled with dukkha. Okay? It's known as Pratipaksha Bhavana. Whatever attracts, whatever is that which takes our mind from our goal, understand that they all have dukkha samsparsajam. Everything of this universe, whether it is people, places, things, they all have dukkha. Aye dukkham, gade dukkham. So understanding this aspect of dukkha and understanding that everything will perish one day, understand that all this, when I am trying to get that, it actually is taking away my time, my, the urja, my strength, my abilities are waned, destroyed by this falling or, running after these things. And more than everything, the moment I get attached with something, that attachment towards things actually put an end to my independence. My swatantriya is gone. Understand, with all this understanding, understand that this is the cause of my falling back into samsara. When with that kind of dosha drishti, kind of, pratipaksha bhavana, that is the word we use in Vedanta, pratipaksha bhavana. You might have heard about, Bhajagovindam, etc. In that you can see pratipaksha bhavana. Sometimes whatever that which distracts our mind, there are Bhagavan, speak about it. Nari stana bharana bhidesam drishtva maga mohavesam. Edad mamsa vasadi vihar. This is not to actually, put a bad light, but to develop a pratipaksha bhavana so that the mind is not pulled towards that. So that is the hetu. So viveka and pratipaksha bhavana are the hetu, the cause of right vairagya. Next is swarupa. What is swarupa of vairagyam? The swarupa of vairagya is icharahitya. No, desirelessness. We are not attracted. There is no desire for bhoga here or hereafter. Now, iha surga bhogeshu icharahitya. That is the swarupa. That is the nature. Third, karyaha. What should we do? we should do three things. If you really want to develop vairagya, we should do, four things actually. One is swadharma anushtana. Swadharma anushtana. Just do your duties, whether you like it or not. As a student, study. As a grihastha, whatever work comes to us, just do it. Just stick to your swadharma without falling. Swadharma anushtana will bring vairagya. See, I should not know whether I should tell this or not, but see, why have you thought about why vivaha? Why should there be marriage? The man and woman can just stay together. And whenever they want, they can go by themselves. Why there's an institution of vairagya or vivaha? Because vivaha is dharma. So through vivaha, not only that our pleasures, but there is a duty, a commitment to each other. So that vivaha makes, the copulation a dharma. When that swadharma comes to us, see, please don't misunderstand me. So when a woman and a man is married, after some time, they are able to control their lust. They are able to go beyond lust. The Western understanding, brings a kind of thinking to us that is bad. That is not bad. When you live as husband and wife, enjoy the pleasures of the world according to the dharma, slowly you mature. That is no more a sexual relationship. It becomes a Atma relationship. So, swadharma anushtana will bring the right kind of vairagya. That is not bad. Somehow, the Western thinking start to make us thinking that vairagya is bad. No! Vairagya is the way to internal happiness and peace. So, swadharma anushtana is one karya, something which will help us to gain the right vairagya. Second, as we are already discussed, pratipaksha bhavana. So whenever our mind is attracted towards something which is not according to dharma, something which is adharmic, which that thought comes to us, develop pratipaksha bhavana, and that will help us to detach ourselves from all that kind of attractions. Pratipaksha bhavana. Third is Ishwararpana buddhi. This is a very important thing in vairagya. Sometimes our mind will not listen to us. So if you have developed that adoration, that ability to submit ourselves at the lotus feet of Lord, Ishwararpana buddhi, that Ishwararpana buddhi, that bhakti will bring kind of vairagya. The fourth cause for vairagya, what is that? Vivekanushīlanam. Develop vivek. Before we start to commit ourselves, think about it. So, Vivekanushīlanam also becomes a karya. So, these are the four things. Please, again, never ever translate the word vairagya in our mind to something negative. Vairagya, always think about vairagya as freedom. Okay, that's why I love to see that word. Vairagya is the inner space, inner freedom, which help us to live happily. See, whether we get it, we are happy. If we not get it also, we happy. Because there is no passion, there is no raga, there is no attractions or repulsions. What is avadhi, nishtha? Even when we get the best things in the world, our mind is not attached with it. See, we go to the dining hall, and in dining hall you get, you see that your best, your most desired dish is there. You enjoy it, but you will not get dependent upon it. See, what happened to us is, when we get it, what we do, our desire also increase. When the vairagya is there, that kind of bhoga vasana, the inclination which is there deep within us, start to come down. That is the nishtha. When everything is there also, our mind is not attracted. There's a beautiful verse in Abhijnana Shakuntala of Kalidasa. See, the Raja is coming down from the heavens and enters into Kashyapashram. There he see that, people are doing meditation, everything in the Surgaloka, everything is there. There are Urvashi, Menaka, Rambha, Tilottama, everything are there, all dancing, but their mind is not at all attracted. They are seated on golden rocks, but they don't even know that they are gold. See, mind is totally detached, even when all kinds of bhoga vastus are around them. That is the nishtha. That is the highest point. Then comes the phalam. What is the result of this kind of vairagya? The greatest result of vairagya is chitta shuddhi. The mind actually become pure. Purity of heart. When the chitta is shuddha, that will give to peace of mind. That will create inner space. That will help us to enjoy the inner freedom. We are not dependent upon anything or any person or any place, because there's no dependency. We feel the inner freedom and happiness and fulfillment. That is the result of phalam. See, whenever we meditate upon the vairagya, we should meditate upon the vairagya of Buddha, not Buddha, Siddhartha. See, Siddhartha, how did he get vairagya? He saw that a dead man, a sick person, an old man. When he saw that, he understood that this is going to happen to me. I am also will become sick one day. I will also will become old one day. I also will die. When that viveka came to him, that viveka gave him the power even to give up his palace. All his, he became a mendicant. He gave up everything. See, that's why the vairagya of Buddha is always praised, because he gave up everything. Our vairagya is not praised because we have nothing. So what did we give up? So the vairagya is not coming out of frustration. Vairagya comes from viveka, right understanding. And that viveka, that vairagya which comes from viveka, help us to see, experience the inner joy and independence deep within us, which help us to walk the path of spirituality. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.